everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. Now I'm going to show you how to play everything we just heard there note for note, and I'm going to break it down over the next 20-30 minutes, so it's going to be an in-depth lesson on that. And I'll also make the tablature available, so if you want to download the tab, you can do so at www.activemelody.com. You can download it, print it off. It's a great way to learn a song like this. This song is an original song, so I know people will ask what that is. It's just something that I came up with just so that I could teach it. So, you know, it has some roots that would come from, you know, John Lee Hooker, Howlin' Wolf, Lightnin' Hopkins, kind of a Delta blues thing with sort of a little bit of a twist, I guess. But anyway, let's break down this lesson and get started. Alright, so in this lesson, this is taught fingerstyle, which means I'm not using a pick with my right hand. And so that's very common in a lot of old Delta blues songs. You'll hear, you know, Robert Johnson, those guys playing with just their fingers with the right hand as opposed to a pick. It's different if you've not done it before. It's you know, it can be more challenging. The pick gives you control. It gives you kind of laser focus, so you can kind of, you know, rake it across strings or hit a string at a time. But with your fingers, you have a lot more variables. So if you're new to fingerstyle, don't run away from this. You can do it, but just know that it's going to be a little different, a little bit challenging. You'll also notice that my fingernails are a little bit longer on my right hand. That is not a requirement. You do not have to do that. So if you'll look at an artist like even Eric Clapton, for example, when he plays an acoustic song, you know, with fingerstyle, which he does sometimes, he does not have long fingernails, so he uses the flesh of the finger to get that tone. And actually, you get kind of a different tone if you're just using the flesh. And some people like that better. It sounds really nice on a nylon string. But anyway, so fingerstyle. So the first thing to point out in this is there's this constant bass line. So if you watch. See my thumb? The thumb is playing the bass, and the nice thing about this style, a lot of fingerstyle stuff, your thumb is doing a walking bass line where it's kind of going like this. But in this style, this thumb is just doing a, you know, a straight, you know, on the beat, you know, rhythm thing, and it's actually easier to do because you're not jumping around. Once you find your string, you just sort of stay there. So the first thing you want to do is pay attention to the thumb, to the bass. See? It's just over and over again. And you may want to start this before you even jump in and start trying to dissect it. You may want to see if you can, you know, watch this video again. See if you can just play along with me, just with the bass, just to start getting the feel for the thing. Then when it switches to the A part, then I go to the 5th string. So I'm started on the 6th string, open, then I go to the 5th string, then back to the 6th string and so forth. So anyway, just something you may want to do to kind of get things started. Now, the first thing that I play is, and what I'm doing there is I'm hammering on to the 3rd fret, 2nd string, and I'm using my middle finger for that hammer on. And then I'm going to pluck with my ring finger, I'm going to pluck the open 1st string, or that high E string. So, and that's kind of the pickup that I use to start this thing. And as soon as you do that, that starts the 1, if you will, if you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, that starts the 1 for when the bass comes in. And that's just this low 6th string, the low E string, and played open. That's the first thing that happens. Then I do this thing. Now the nice thing about this lesson is there's a lot of repetition, so if you're struggling with a part, it's not, you can use, once you get it, you can use it over and over again. So after, then what I do is after I hit that low 6th string, I'm going to take my ring finger and middle finger on my right hand and play strings 1 and 2 open, just those open. Now, while I play these 2 strings, you'll notice I hit the thumb again. I hit that low E again. So if we play just the beginning part, just those first few notes, it's like this. So you can see the bass note goes 1, 2, but the thing is, it keeps going. So now this is where I come to this part, and what I'm doing there is I'm playing this. You can do it either with your middle finger and pointer finger, or I use my ring finger and pointer finger, and I'm just playing the third string. I'm sorry, the 3rd fret 1st string. And then I'm putting my pointer finger down on the 2nd fret 2nd string. So you get this sound. Again, I'm just playing those top 2 strings, but when I hit that, I give it a little bit of a bend, so it goes. Here I'm pushing it slightly sharp. It's that twang that gives it that, you know, that blues. You can, if you play it straight, you can do that. It's missing something. It's not like you're singing with your fingers, and that's what you want to be doing. Now, and it's an art, because you don't want to. If you go a little too far, it's obnoxious. And it actually sounds happy again. So to give it that, you know, that little bit of a dig, you're just going to slightly push both of those strings sharp. And all I'm doing, actually, to be honest, more of the bend is happening on this this 3rd fret 1st string ring finger. So let's rewind and play it slowly. Okay, notice the bass. As soon as that happens, it never stops playing that. The next thing I do is I come up here and I slide. Again, I'm only playing the top 2 strings so far. Even now, I'm going to slide. I'm going to take my middle finger on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and I'm going to slide up to the 5th fret 2nd string. But I'm playing strings 1 and 2. So I'm playing both those strings. And you get this kind of nice drone thing that happens when you play a note and then you slide into that same note. So, and that's what I'm doing there. Okay, now I'm not going to keep reminding you of the bass part. I'm going to try and show you, because in essence what's happening is, you know, it's just on each beat of the measure. I'll come back and I'll play this slowly so that you can have a reference of me playing the whole thing slowly, but I'll do it in parts. But for now, where we're at is played slowly is. Now after that, I go. And that's happening when I'm doing that. That's played on strings 2 and 3, and I'm using my middle finger and pointer finger, and I'm pushing down on the 2nd fret 3rd string right here with and I'm using my middle finger for that with my left hand right over here. And notice the first 3 notes are. And notice how I'm playing it with my right hand. I'm going middle, 1st, middle, or middle, pointer, middle. So, and then after that I go, and I do it really quickly, but it's actually pretty easy. It's just a hammer on and a pull off on the 1st fret 3rd string. So it's there's the hammer on and pull off. Slowly, it's notice I just pluck it once with my right hand. Then I come down and play the 2nd fret 4th string. And that's what you're going to want to practice. Now when I release, when I do that pull off, I'm flicking the string. And the other thing is, when you're playing it up to speed, you actually are hammering on that 4th string 2nd fret. You're actually not plucking that. If you're playing it slowly, you may want to pick it, or pluck it, I should say, with my right hand. But when I'm playing that up to tempo, all that happens with the left hand. The right hand just hits it once. Okay? So let's slowly play up to that part. Then it repeats. Let's just repeat that again. I'm going to play it a few times. See, watch the thumb. And at first it's going to be a lot like patting your head and rubbing your stomach. It's one of those tricks that you have to practice over and over again. And the only way to get it is to try and do it very, very slowly. You will not be able to do this up to tempo at the beginning. You'll be doing something like this. And just keep practicing that. And eventually that timing thing will work out. All of a sudden it'll just click. So the first time through, the second time through I go, and for that I'm just taking my middle finger and I'm sliding from the 2nd fret 3rd string up to the 4th fret 3rd string. So that's the first thing. Then I'm going to take my middle finger, or I'm sorry, my pointer finger, and play on the 2nd string 3rd fret. And I'm only playing strings 2 and 3 right there. This is what it's like minus the bass part. It goes. Okay? So the first time I go, and then the second time I go. And all I'm doing there, that's actually really easy. I'm just pushing down on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and I'm playing strings 3, 2, and 1. 2 and 1, those 2 strings are open. So, and watch which fingers I'm using. So with the right hand, so that's pointer finger, middle finger, pointer finger. And then we come down to this part and I go pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger. That's the timing. Now you throw in the bass and it's. Now here it is slowly. Alright, so let's back up and then we'll play up to where we're at in the song. I'll play it slowly. Now it repeats. Now this second time through, the second part, I did something different. I went, and that gets me into the A part. And all I'm doing for that is I'm playing the 3rd fret 1st string, doing a little bit of bend on it, open first, 3rd fret 2nd string, back to the open first. So it's, notice the right hand, I'm playing that between my ring finger and my middle finger. I'm going. Now keep in mind, the bass would be going on top of that. So it'd sound like that. Now, if you're struggling with any of this, you can take any of those parts, like just that part, and just try and get that. So that's one way that I learned how to do this stuff, would be to take one little part like that and just start with the bass. It's always easiest to start with that and kind of, and I'm doing it too fast, maybe you start slower. If you could do that, and just keep doing it until you can get it. So, okay, so let's rewind. Here's that. Then I go. I come up to the A. So to this point, everything has been that open 6th string, right? Now now the bass part's gonna go. You can see I'm kind of sliding up, almost like if you're an upright bass player would do. And so what I'm doing there is I'm just gonna start on the 2nd fret, 6th string, and I'm gonna slide up to the 4th fret on the 6th string. And then I grab that open 4th string, which is a D note, and then my thumb comes to the A string, or the open 5th string, and that puts me in place for the A part. So slowly it sounds like this. So let's do it even slower. And there's one other note that I didn't mention, and maybe some of you just caught that then with your ear, but I start actually with that open D string, or that open 4th string. So it's open 4th, slide, open 4th, then open 5th. And it just happened so quickly, I guess I didn't realize that I was even doing that. Now what I'm doing there is I'm playing an A, it's kind of an A7th, and the way I'm doing it is I'm just playing on the 2nd fret, I'm playing the 2nd string with my ring finger, and then I'm playing the 2nd fret 4th string with my middle finger. And with my right hand, I'm plucking strings 5, 4, 3, and 2. And so that gives you that A part. Now this will be challenging too in the beginning, not the notes you're playing, but to get the timing. And again, it's just going to be, it's almost like learning how to juggle. The best analogy I can think of is pat your head and rub your tummy. You know, when you first try and do that, it seems awkward, but if you can start with one, patting your head, then you can always work in rubbing your tummy. It's kind of like that. It's the same kind of thing with this. So if you can start with the bass note, and what I'm doing there is when I'm playing these, that's just playing strings 4, 3, and 2, and I'm playing with my pointer finger, middle finger, and ring finger with the right hand. And then I go ahead and fret with my pinky. I fret on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, to get that note. Notice the bass part is just that open 5th string. It's like learning to ride a bike all over again. And just practice that over and over until you get that. And don't try and do it up to tempo. Do it very, very slowly, but just try and get it accurate. Now notice that little part there. That was a little breakaway to give it some texture so that you're not just repeating it, you know, with making it so mundane. And so what I did for that was again, I'm starting with that open D string, and I use my pointer finger. And remember, before we slid from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret on the 6th string. This time we're just going to play the 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 6th string. So what you're playing there is a D note here and a G note in the bass, and then back to the D note. So 4th string, 3rd fret, 6th string, and then back to the open 4th string, and then back to the 5th open 5th string, which is the A part. So here it is slowly. Let's do it again. Let's slow it down. Hear how I'm starting with that open D. And again, just try and get it slow but accurate. If you have to do it as slow as possible. So that's the A part. Okay, so then to get back into the E part, I threw in this little run that sounds like this. And that sounds a lot more complicated than it is. When I break it down, you'll see that a lot of what's happening, the sound of the speed sound is actually just a lot of pull-offs and hammer-ons with the left hand. So the right hand is doing very minimal work to make that happen. And so what happens is the first 4 notes happen on the 1st string, the E string, and if you'll notice, I'm only plucking once. But what I'm doing is, I'm on the 2nd fret 1st string with my pointer finger. I'm going to hammer onto the 3rd fret 1st string. Then I'm going to do a pull-off, so I'm just flicking when I release. So I'm back there to the 2nd fret 1st string. And then I'm going to flick the string again when I do another pull-off. So I'm playing the open 1st string. So those are your first notes, first 4 notes. And don't worry, what you're wanting it to sound like is something like this in terms of speed, but don't worry about the speed in the beginning. Just try and get the notes. And then I actually come down and play the 2nd fret 2nd string and do a hammer on there. So actually those first 5 notes I'm not playing with the right hand, I'm plucking them once. But it sounds kind of weird when you're doing it slowly to get that hammer on. It won't sound right, but when you hear it up to speed, it'll sort of make sense, even if that note is a little bit quiet. Okay, and then what happens after that is, now that's where the right hand does kick in and play a few notes. So the first little part, now after that hammer on the 2nd fret 2nd string, then I'm going to release that and I'm going to play the 2nd string open. And I'm using my pointer finger for that. Notice how my fingers have lined up now. I had been using my thumb for all the bass stuff, but now for this little thing that we're going to do, I'm going to play that between my middle finger, pointer finger, and thumb on my right hand. So those 3 fingers line up over strings 3, 2, and 1. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and I'm going to play thumb. That's all that's happening here with the left hand. With the right hand, it's thumb first. Thumb, middle finger, pointer finger, back to the thumb. So, but it happens quickly, so it goes just like that. Now, after you hit the thumb again on the third string, 2nd fret, then I come in and go. So I release that. And what I'm doing there, in essence, what I'm playing is I'm playing the E chord. So if you think of the E chord, that's what I'm doing, but I'm not making the whole chord. I'm playing the hammer-on to the 1st fret, 3rd string, and then I hit that low E note. My hand by default will kind of make that E chord, but I'm not actually playing all the notes in the chord, so you can see the shape is actually, I just by default I'll go ahead and make that full E chord, but I'm really only playing those two. I'm really only playing the 3rd string and the 6th string. And the 3rd string again is that, and that's the one we hammer on to the 1st fret, 3rd string. Okay, so now we're right back in place because we're back to the E. And there's that little part again. Now we come to the B. So wait, before I get to the B, let me just play the whole thing up to that point slowly so you have it as a reference. And here we go. Now we're to the B7th part, and I'm just making a straight up B7th chord here in 1st position. And the way that I do that, 2nd fret 5th string. I'm sorry, yeah, 2nd fret 5th string with my middle finger. Let's see, 1st fret 4th string with my pointer finger. I have the hardest time saying these for some reason. And then second fret 3rd string with my ring finger. And I play the middle 4 strings, and that's a B7th chord. It's the same shape as if you're playing a D7th. Same shape, but you're playing it here to get that B7. So once we get to the B7th part, then I take my pinky, which is free, and I go to the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and I do this kind of push where I'll go. Now notice what's going on with the walking, or not the walking, but just the bass part. It's just the thumb again on the 5th string, but this time since I'm fretting here on the 2nd fret, it's going to be playing a B note instead of the A note. Here it is slowly. And again, I'm just doing a push. That's the 3rd fret, 2nd string. Pushing it slightly sharp. Then I'm going to release it, so I'm playing an open 2nd string. Then I'm doing that with my ring finger with my right hand. Then I play with my middle finger. I play the 3rd string, which is going to be fretted by this chord. This chord stays the whole time. And then I come back to that open 2nd string. So here it is slowly. Okay? And then when I go to the A part, I decided to do it a little different and play. Kind of pick the chord apart a little. And all I'm doing to play the A, I'm doing that same A7th shape that we did before. 2nd fret, both ring finger and middle finger on the 2nd fret. Ring finger is on the 2nd string. Middle finger is on the 4th string. and I'm playing, and I just play strings 5, 4, 3, 2. So I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, and here it is slowly. Okay, so from the B it's, and then I have this little run that closes it out, which is, stole that run from Eric Clapton, Unplugged. He used that quite a bit. But I love that. Okay, so here's the run. The run is, it starts on the second string, second fret. And we're gonna start with the open second string, then we're gonna hammer on to the second fret, then we're gonna play the open E, or the open first string, and I'm doing that between these two fingers. So pointer finger, middle finger. Okay. Then I do this thing that goes, and that's just, I use my middle finger for that, and I start on the third fret, second string, slide down to the second fret, second string, then just do a release or a pull off. So, and then I take my middle finger, keep in mind I'm doing most of this with my middle finger. Then I come down to the third string, second fret, again with my middle finger. And I play that with, so, actually it's a hammer-on, now that I say that. When I play that up to tempo. Yep. So this, those 4 notes, I'm only plucking it once. So it's pluck, hammer on to the second fret, second fret, third string. Then I'm going to play the note, the second string open with my middle finger, and then just do this little trill here where I'm hammering on to the, hammering on to the first fret, third string. And that's the same as we just did a minute ago, but because it's really that E chord, when you think of an E chord. And I kind of complete that chord there. So it's, and that puts you right back in position to, if you wanted to play it again or keep it going or whatever. Or you could end it too. You could, if you wanted to, just play an E7. Play one there too. That's just the D7th shape, but I've slid everything up. I slid everything up 1 fret, and then I slid it up 1 more. So with that E in the bass, that's one way to end a song like that. So. Or go right back into it. Alright, so let me back up. I'll play the whole thing slowly so you have that as a reference. Here we go. Well, that's all I have for this lesson. Be sure to like me at facebook.com/activemelody if you haven't done so, Or you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/activemelody. Or you can also just join the community at www.activemelody.com. We'll see you in the next lesson.